Alrighty there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it looks like we're back. Hopefully, Twitch may be having some problems right now, so we're switching things around. Looks like we're live again? Question mark, hopefully. Everything's looking to be good so far. Yeah, there we go. Looks like everything's good to go. Sorry about that, Twitch is having all kinds of issues, but let's kind of go over these teams again. So, Exquisite Nation with the Scylla, Sobek, Naja, and Amaterasu and Anhur rounding out their team. Delta Split going with the Athena, Thor, Huyi, Nox, and Bellona. Shadowboy, what do you think of these team comps so far?
Well, I mean,
Thusly.
I mentioned it a little bit briefly, as I said. The Exquisite Nation has a team composition built around their mage. Scylla has all the opportunity in the world to land a lot of I'm a Monster, Crush, a whole bunch of abilities. And they're basically putting their focus on letting her be a big damage dealer. Najah is going to be effective at picking off some characters on the backside, but with so much initial burst, this is definitely a pick composition on blue side. I'm really favoring that one.
Certainly, and I tend to agree with you there. I just like Naja in general, especially once she gets to the later stage of the game. And especially with a lot of power pod starts we've seen coming out of Naja, she's going to be, pretty devastating in the early game. Nox is going to have a hard time against it. She does have her silence, so, may be able to get some combos off of that. But in general, I think this is going to Exquisite Nation.
All right. Well, assuming that everything is going good on Twitch stream, you guys go ahead. Let us know who you think is going to win and why. We're going to get set up and hopefully ready for this match. Pray to the Twitch gods, and we'll see you on the other side. Welcome back, everyone. Exquisite Nation versus Delta Split for the first match of today for the NA Challenger Series. Brought to you by hi-rez as well as Tier Monster. And off the bat, everything looks pretty normal. Purple pot start for the Nox as well as the Thor, while the Najah on the other end has a red pot. And that's about it on their side. Big difference, meditation on Sobek and sprint on Athena.
Certainly, certainly. And we've also seen some aggressive wards coming out. We have actually 3 wards placed by both teams. They're all warding nice and aggressively. They want to make sure that they have full visibility on the other team. Certainly kind of an interesting strat. We don't see a whole lot of aggressive warding, but I guess these teams just want to do it. And nothing too unusual coming out about these starts. Looks like, well, Exquisite Nation going to be starting off on the blue buff compared to the speed buff. Why do you think they want to start there?
I mean, every team has their own strategy. This might be a two-man strategy where the soul laner ends up going with them over to the mid camp. I'm not 100% sure. They might even try to make a move over towards the fire giant creeps here momentarily, but it appears that they just prefer doing one style over the other. And this could also be for insurance. Going back over to that ward coverage, a lot of times they just want to make sure that they're not going to get invaded or heavily pressured. And looking at what they're up against, Amaterasu versus Bellona Thor, more than likely not going to be a winning matchup. So going ahead and grabbing that blue, definitely an insurance move in my opinion. But taking a look over at the dual lane, really surprised to see that Sobek and Anhur are pushed back fairly far. They might have gotten really slow start to getting over towards the lane, as it's a little harder to clear with a Scylla that doesn't have purple pot on her favor.
Yeah, certainly. But
Or excuse me, no, she does.
Yeah, Scylla does have purple pot. So I'm not quite sure what happened here, but it does look like Exquisite Nation is certainly behind in lane. They Team Delta Split just now hit level 3 a little bit before Exquisite Nation. Now taking a lot of poke. This Medavoy and Liquid Joe. Now, Liquid Joe with a nice little pluck. He's gonna get some damage. Is Medavoy, but the Impale a little off the mark as pointless, able to dash out just in time.
Yeah, these are one of those Sobek plays that I'm just not so sure about. Usually with a pluck, you want to set it up to where your opponent can't exactly get away, and on top of that, they're taking at least archer damage. At the end of the day, he only got a another missed charge is going to result in him taking a lot more damage than necessary. In fact, this could be his death. Taunt comes out here soon, and that's going to spell doom. No, the Ricochet is not going to be able to secure the kill on the Sobek, but you always have to be careful about how you use your aggressive move, because if you miss it, chances are you're going to take far more poke than is even worth it.
Certainly, certainly. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, we see Little on that on that Scylla did manage to hit level 5, so gonna be very scary for the next couple minutes. Instead, just everyone's gonna back it off, go away their own XP camps. Nothing really too aggressive coming out, although yeah, it looks like it's just going to be fairly normal starts. Nothing really too out of the ordinary. No one's no one really wants to play that aggressive, even though it looks like Exquisite Nation did manage to hit level 5 first in the mid lane.
Moving forward, I'd really want to see what the Scylla is going to prioritize as far as her second item. More than likely, her first item is going to be boost, just have the mobility and maybe get to certain lanes faster and help her team out. But after that, it really is going to dictate how Exquisite Nation feels they can proceed in this game. Do they go for the aggressive Book of Thoth? Do they go for the passive Warlock Sash? Maybe they are predicting a lot of mid-game fights, so they go for the Chronos Pendant. I really am curious what Jit Little here is going to be focusing on about the 10-minute marker.
Oop, looks like, though, in the solo lane, Josh Goggles gets the kill onto Feeper. Just a little Naja ult, a nice little rotation coming in. And Bellona did go down using her ultimate as well. It was just cleaned up by the ring there of Naja.
Oh, Scylla comes over to try and steal away the speed buff. Might actually succeed in doing so. Has the crush on it. Isn't going to pop it just yet. Waits until Thor gets underneath the crush, and they're able to get the speed buff on top of a little poke damage. That's going to hurt Thor just a little bit. He's going to be slower to go from lane to lane to lane.
Oh, certainly. And that first blood going on to the Naja certainly going to help her out. Or him out, sorry. It's Naja, you know.
Mid camp over on the right side going over to the members of Exquisite Nation, making their way over to the middle lane, and more than likely going to be able to take the left mid Harpies as well. 3 versus 2, usually not a favorable matchup. Oh, actually, Naja went back to her own speed. So, a 2v2 scenario, mid laner and support. Naja uses her Sentinel aggressively to get over to the mid camps, and I don't believe she's going to be able to have the damage to clear this up instantly, so she's going to forfeit that one.
Yeah, but it looks like they may be going for the steal here. Little does manage to steal it with the crush. Nice little steal coming out. Just waiting for that Nox to, use her damage, and Athena just able to secure it with that crush, playing it nice and smart.
Over in the solo lane, Black Arm doing a pretty good job. One thing we didn't mention is the silence that she has just built into her kit that can stop the bludgeon from Bellona. That's going to hurt Bellona's clear, and maybe that's the reason why they were able to get the first blood fairly easily over in the solo lane. Thor has yet to use an ultimate as well, so a little nerve-wracking. Thor is a character that if he falls behind, he typically stays behind. It's going to really depend on his next itemization on how he's going to be effective throughout this game.
Certainly. But now we're just waiting for something to happen. Boxing match again happening in the solo lane. Looks like Black Arm is sitting a little bit, about half a level ahead of Feeper here. So, again, probably do that first blood and at least the experience from the assist there going on to Black Arm.
Yeah, the unfortunate part about being in the solo lane is that once you get killed via jungler or even a 1v1, it's hard for you to keep up with your opponent because naturally they're tanky, you're tanky, you already do minimal damage. It's really a tough task. Ward Vision in control of Exquisite Nation. They're utilizing their slight advantage in gold and leveraging it in the form of vision control. And smart move. This is going to allow for them to possibly make a Gold Fury attempt in the nearby future, but they need to actually get a sentry on it.
Yeah, they have wards all around it, not necessarily on it. So, but interesting that they're spending so much money on wards. Typically, you don't see a lot of teams do that. They tend to more focus on items. Ward going down in the mid lane as well. They want to ward actively. It looks like actually a lot of Team Delta Split's money is going to be spent on wards as well. They do have a lot of sentries around their red buff as well as on the Gold Fury, and one placed in mid lane as well. But now a 4-man grouping looking to invade the jungle of Team Delta Split.
Invade. They're going all in onto this poor Bellona. She's going to get deleted here in the air, not even able to actually take a chance and use her Eagles Rally. Thor comes down with a dunk onto the speed buff, thinking he was a little bit closer in range to possibly make a difference or an impact on Bellona's life, but unfortunately wasn't able to do so. Just going to have to sit on that cooldown. All around, it looks like Exquisite Nation just feels more confident and comfortable rotating and knowing when to rotate. I mean, Delta Split didn't even think about Gold Fury, didn't try to take anything out of it. So just going to show that vision really helping them out a lot.
Oh yeah, certainly. But now, I mean, taking a look at the dual lane, we're just seeing a little bit of back and forth boxing. Medavoid does have the red buff. Actually, both dual lanes do have the red buff on them. Both ADCs do. So now looks like Team Delta Split is a little poised around the Gold Fury, but They're just going to back it off for now. Three-man grouping in the mid lane coming out of Exquisite Nation. They may be looking for a pluck here as Sobek has rotated in.
Sobek's here, but I don't see him doing anything too aggressive. They're still not ahead enough to actually. Okay, that taunt. Still not ahead enough to actually do anything hyper aggressive. Diving towers, going for muscle goal furies where you just bully out your opponent. There's a lot of things they still can't do. We've yet to see I'm a Monster come out and for Jay Little to show that he has confidence and comfortability landing that at least 90% of the time. So. You're just gonna have to wait it out a little bit, maybe feel it out. I like the safe approach that Exquisite Nation is going for here.
Certainly, they're going to take the slow and steady burn instead of the quick burst and the potential for a collapse. It's definitely a very smart play, playing it safe and letting your gold coffers build up before you really decide to go in.
Reaching close to that 1.5k gold lead marker for Exquisite Nation. Also experienced a differential of about 3k. So they're doing a pretty good job of making sure they maximize their farming efficiency, especially over in the solo lane where you see a lot of difference 2-level between the solo laners. And even the mid lane is starting to see a little separation here. Scylla should be reaching level 11 here soon. Well, I believe that Cow Stuck in a Tree, Nox, has just hit level 10 recently.
Yep, and it looks like Nox is going to be going into either a Doom Orb or a Chronos Pen here. What do you think about going into a Doom Orb, especially with this kind of slow start that Nox has already had?
I don't. It doesn't really make sense to me. I mean, it's more than likely going to be the Chronos Pen because Nox operates just in the same fashion as Giannis, where you just want to spam out as many abilities as possible, not necessarily depend on one consistent burst, which is why a lot of characters elect for CDR in the form of excuse me, I thought that Thor might have gotten plucked there, but
No.
instead of relying on just one ability, you typically want to spam several over the span of a team fight because there's no guarantee, first of all, that you hit everything, and there's also no guarantee that they won't have active / relics available. But a little bit of a skirmish breaking out here over in the jungle.
Josh Goggles taking Thor up into the air, doesn't manage to get the kill with the ultimate now. Athena is rotating in, but taking a lot of damages. Cow Stuck in Tree, lots of damage going on to Fever as well. Ultimate does come out, trying to find something. Is Cow Stuck in Tree, doesn't manage to put the ultimate out onto Black Arm, but now it's just going to be a full disengage coming out of Team Delta Split, and that speed buff is going to Josh Goggles.
We will go into Josh Goggles, and then the rest of the members of Exquisite Nation still feeling confident to take the Gold Fury. 2 ultimates available on their side. Scylla and Anhur hadn't used theirs just yet, so even if there is retaliation from Delta Split, with them being so weakened, I really don't think it's a good idea. So Scylla is going to use her ultimate as a Gold Fury secure. Not sure if I agree with that, but it is playing safe, and she is going for that Book of Thoth start that I mentioned earlier. So expect to see her really ramp up here in the next couple of moments.
Oh, definitely. That is, especially with the lead that they've already built now, at almost 3,000 gold and about 4,000 XP. It's certainly going to help compound that lead even more, especially going that very aggressive Book of Thoth.
Back over in the solo lane, still farming back and forth the 2 solo laners. The differential in experience has gone down just a bit. Bellona focused on farming while the rest of her team try to defend over in the jungle. So she's trying to get back into the game, and rightfully so. She should be able to do so. Solo laners, there is a point where you're behind, but very rarely is there a point where you're just going to permanently be behind. That's a huge feat to pull off. So Bellona will be impactful, say at about the 25-minute marker. But right now, she's just got to focus on farming and get to a point where she's comfortable. Over in the middle lane, however, Najah going deep.
Najah going deep, trying to find the kill onto Cow Stuck in Tree, but not able to find it. The damage over time for Nox may end up killing. No, just able to survive his Josh Goggles. He's got a sliver of health. Barely able to live off of that. Almost actually got killed by the archers there. Jit Little and Liquid Joe did have to manage to clean those up, but he did survive, did Josh Goggles, so that was very close.
Looking back over the duo lane, small differential in favor of Anhur, but he's taking a lot of damage here. It looks like Anhur missed his abilities. Now he's got to deal with the repercussions. Sunbreaker comes out, and he's diving deep for this one. Has no abilities on cooldown, so he's not going to be able to do anything past being a very, very scary AD carry. Meanwhile, Najah comes in for the backup.
Yeah, Najah coming in, trying to get a kill onto Turnby, but the Athena ultimate does come out. Will secure the safety of Turnby for now. Thor going up in the air. He's going to be looking for dunk down in the back. Oh, it does connect with one. Josh Goggles getting low, but so is Thor. We're just trying to find someone. Black Arm in the back cleans up Turnby. The Athena ultimate, or the Naja ultimate does come out, but Athena gets the kill before. Matt Mitchie's sitting very low. Does get cleaned up by the Scylla Crush.
Scylla is being a big impact in this fight. If she can get another Sick'em Crush combo onto this Nox, should be dead. She's going to go for it. Feels that she has the ability to kill her. Misses the essential part of the formula. Didn't lock down the Nox long enough for the Crush to land, so not going to see a kill there. Meanwhile, Bellona was able to successfully take the Tier 1 tower over in the right side of the map. First tower of the game going down at 13 minutes.
Certainly, that's certainly going to help bring back the farm from Feeper, but that's still a very non-impactful team fight. Even still, taking a look at the graphs, 2,800 gold in favor of Exquisite Nation and about 5,600 XP as well. That the tower taken did certainly soften the blow from those couple kills going to Exquisite Nation, but that's still, I think it would have been a little better for Feeper to come in with the rotation.
I mean, it probably would have, but at the same time, I can't discredit her. Feeper, as much harsh, or not harsh comments, as much crap as I've been giving Feeper, he is still the top gold of his team. He's desperately trying to get to a relative point to where he could just come in, blow up a fight, and survive doing so. Right now, still struggling in dealing with Amaterasu, who wouldn't be Bellona's main focus in these team fights, but still would be a factor. So completely understandable. Blue team, or excuse me, Exquisite Nation, all focused around the speed buff, making sure they can maximize their gold efficiency by splitting camps and making sure that they all clear safely. A couple of members of Delta Split were peeking around the corner in the jungle to see if maybe there was a pick opportunity.
Certainly. But now we go back to the regular farming duties. Now, taking a look at some of the items, it looks like Bellona went into a Hide of the Nemean Lion. This is certainly a bit of an interesting pickup. Not a lot of auto stacks, but Jit Little getting very low in the mid lane. Nox able to clean it. Oh, the nice Sanctuary, but the damage over time does manage to clean up Jit Little. Josh Goggles, though, does trade for Matt and Mitchie on that Thor, but now the rotation coming in from Athena. Maybe looking for an engagement here. Pointless with the nice taunt.
Sobek missing the charge. He's going to be punished just slightly. Naja heals right back up to full as the ring toss does quite a bit of damage. Sprint is used, but nothing left on the side of Exquisite Nation to chase, so they're going to have to back off. Athena seems to think otherwise, though. She's going to come right back in. Missed the taunt. Another ring is going to set up the kill for the Anhur using the Desert Fury over the wall, and now they've actually got this poor Athena stuck as well. She's going to have to deal with quite a bit of pressure as Amaterasu goes into her ultimate under tower, and it looks like they're not going to commit to the decision of diving. A little too risky as Bellona is here, does have Eagle's Rally. The only ultimate available on the side of Exquisite Nation appears to be on Scylla's side, and they're going to make an aggressive Gold Fury call here. Feel like they have the upper hand in this fight. Are they going to go? No, another mischarge from the Sobek. He's going to get isolated out and destroyed. This is the unfortunate part of missing your skill shot of Sobek.
Yeah, Sobek certainly can be very easily caught out of position, and because of that, now it looks like Exquisite Nation is going to have to disengage from this Gold Fury. Not able to find it there, but now it looks like Medievoy and Turnby are going to be staring each other down in the dual lane, as now Athena, maybe with a very nice rotation, trying to pop some purification onto Jit Little. The nice little stun, taking a lot of damage from the Thor is Jit Little, but it looks like it's just going to be backing off as now Josh Goggles is here to help defend.
The really unfortunate thing about the Exquisite Nation's team composition right now is that, as I mentioned, it's really focused primarily on the mage. It's really focused on Scylla. Oh, but over in the duo lane, double jump into a kill. Medievoy got deleted by Hoyi, surprisingly so, as Exquisite Nation has been leading in the game for most of the duration, and he's still not able to box with him.
Yeah, certainly. Looks like they're pretty evenly matched up. Only 200 gold behind was Turnby. Itemization, they were just about the same. Josh Call is now getting rooted out there by Nox. And it looks like Liquid Joe may be looking here for another pluck. Let's see if he can connect. Pointless. Caught out by the Crush. Taking a good bit of damage from that. And now Athena may be going down here. The taunt comes out to try and save her life, but not able to find it. Josh Goggles will get the kill.
They're going to look for an aggressive approach here. They might try to make a move on this red, and it looks like that is going to be the decision. Amaterasu does land her ultimate onto the Nox, who is dangerously low, and killing spree for Black Arm, who is able to take out Nox. Now they're turning their attention over towards the Bellona as Najah comes in on the backside to deal with Hoyi. He's going to be in a little bit of trouble. He goes ahead and uses the dive bomb out, and all the rest of the members of Exquisite Nation are just going to spread out and look for a little bit of farm opportunity.
Black Arm, they're playing aggressively, taking the back camps, and now Gold Fury is going to be not started, but grouped around as now Feeper here. Oh, Najah with the ultimate coming in, trying to connect with the Bellona. Does manage to get her up in the air. Feeper getting really low. Oh, the I'm a Monster does come out, trying to connect with someone, but nobody. Now it's going to be a disengagement coming out of Team Delta Split. Black Arm, though, still playing very aggressive.
On the backside, Anhur was doing the Gold Fury the entire time, and they were still able to hold off all the members of Delta Split. Amaterasu, however, does have her ultimate again, and she's going to use it aggressively to try and maybe make a play here. Thor uses the wall, but it's not going to set anything up for the members of Delta Split. Delta Split taking a little bit of a loss there, losing the Gold Fury. Didn't lose any body, though, except for Nox at the very, very beginning of the fight, but still a little bit of a loss there.
Certainly, certainly. And now mid lane is going to get some poke, mid lane tower, as now Feeper and Pointless are coming in. Jit Little and Liquid Joe are sitting here. Black Arm just taking the right mid camps for free. Is now everyone's starting to group around, maybe trying to look towards another objective here, as Liquid Joe is poised to go for another pluck.
Oh, taking a look at the builds for a second here. Dynasty Plate Helm for Scylla. So still wanting to have that little bit of protection to deal with some of the aggression that might come from Bellona and Thor. To strong backline divers, especially with all the CC that comes out. Really surprised to see that she's going for the Dynasty Helm after the Book of Thoth. I would expect that you would follow the trend of, all right, well, I'm going damage, might as well go more damage. But this is still a smart play nonetheless.
Yeah, the Dynasty Plate Helm will also provide some penetration, which is going to be necessary, especially with Bellona building into that Pestilence to help with that magical damage protection. It's certainly an interesting idea, and I do personally like it, but certainly there are maybe more aggressive options you could go as Jitler, but I think that Book of Thoth is certainly going to help out with the aggressive anyways.
Meanwhile, all the members of Delta Split looking for some kind of opportunity. They have a good team fight composition, and we saw a little bit of it last time they fought over by the Gold Fury pit, is that they just can keep diving right back onto their enemy. They can use the Athena ultimate. They can use the Thor dunk. They can use so many things to reinitiate a fight. And kudos to the Thor. He was severely far behind. He still is, to some extent, severely far behind, but he's still making quite a decent impact. 3 assists, 3 deaths, but not completely out of it just yet.
Not at all. Scylla, or Najah trying to steal away the red buff with the ring toss. Not able to find it now, as Medavoy and Josh Goggles are going to be poised around the dual lane now, but Liquid Joe is caught out. Nice 3-man taunt, and now Jit Little trying to go deep, trying to connect with something, but with the crush able to only kill up 1. Now Feeper caught out of position. Najah a little off the mark with that ultimate as Feeper dives over. Now Black Arm diving deep, trying to get the kill onto Feeper now. Black Arm does get the kill, and in the back line, Black Arm's just tanking the tower. This mid lane tower is going down for free.
Gonna go down for free, and they're gonna push forward for a little bit more. They have enough healing and movement speed to keep themselves in this a little bit longer, but Sunbreaker comes out. Najah goes in deep to try and get something on the Nox. Meanwhile, Jay Little is taken out so quickly on the backside with a combination of AoE damage. Oh, Najah stuck under tower, uses the beads to get out of danger, and they aren't able to take the tier 2 tower. Put a little bit of hurt onto it, but not completely take it out.
Yeah, really good engagement there coming out of Team Delta Split. Just able to hold them off long enough so that they could trade 1 for 1 and able to save their tier 2 tower, which certainly would have helped spell the end. As now, taking a look at the graph, 6,000 gold lead for Exquisite Nation.
I mean, the gold differential right now is surprisingly not as effective as you would say in most games. I haven't seen Exquisite Nation truly muscle their way in this game with that kind of a gold lead. As much as I've said that they're a pick composition, they do this, that, and the other. You take a look over at Scylla's contribution to the game. She's only participated in 4 out of their 11 kills, which is less than half. Still a marginal number, but not necessarily the number you're looking for when
Hmm.
you talk about a team that has so much setup for it. I mean, the ultimate from Najah, the pluck from Sobek, the Anhur Impale, even Amaterasu ultimate. There's so much setup, but we haven't seen a single I'm a Monster connect for any substantial damage.
Yes, certainly. It just seems like as well the Sobek seems to be. We've seen a lot of off the mark plucks there coming out of Sobek, so that may be also contributing to the lack of I'm monsters. And now looks like Exquisite Nation is going to be dancing around this gold fury. It should be up here in less than a minute.
Yeah, it's
As
got 15 seconds.
yeah, 15 seconds or so. So hopefully they're just grouped up right now. They don't know the exact time, or they probably do have the exact time on it, but they don't know exactly when it's going to be up. As now Amaterasu is diving deep, trying to just find some poke and maybe zone out Tornby a little bit.
Yeah, if you can get some beads out of an opponent, that's always good too. So she's trying to maybe force out something, purification beads, or set up a fight. You never know. But Anhur and Sobek going to try and do the Gold Fury by themselves. Thor going up to the air. It is called. They back off the objective. Thor comes down with the Athena ultimate and isn't able, or excuse me, no, not with the Athena ultimate. This is just going to be an all-out brawl with no big AoEs. And there's Crush starting the fight off just right as Thor goes down immediately. Amaterasu 1v3 trying to make something happen for her team and set up the damage. I'm a Monster is ready. Can it land this time? No, it doesn't connect for damage as Sanctuary is used. But the rest of the members of Delta Split have to back off here. Use the Sunbreaker to possibly get to the gun on her. He's able to escape ever so slightly, and now they're turning their attention back over to the Gold Fury, which should rightfully go over to Exquisite Nation as they won that fight ever so decisively.
Oh, certainly. It looks like Matt Mitchie was absolutely blown up, just diving a little too deep with Thor. Did not have the Athena in combination with him, but now it looks like, oh, Cowstricken Tree with the ultimate, trying to steal the Gold Fairy, not able to find it. Fever good and blown up by the Crush, and Josh Goggles gets the kill. Again, very aggressive dives coming out. Cloud stuck in a tree. Nice pluck coming out of Liquid Joe. Just trying to find the kill onto anyone at this point. Cow stuck in a tree. Oh, nice taunt coming out of Athena. Able to disengage for now. But in the back lane, though, Black Arm does manage to get the kill. Tornby trades, and now Chit Little gets the kill. And that is almost a wipe. Athena will manage to escape, but that's every single damage member of Team Delta Split down for the count.
Yeah, with 30 seconds left on the nearest damage dealer, you're talking about a Phoenix more than likely, unless there's a little bit of miscommunication here. Najah and Scylla are going to attempt to do this themselves. They might be able to do so. They have a lot of damage here, but that's a tall order to ask for, especially when you don't have that many creeps. I really feel like they should have invested in either the Fire Giant or this Phoenix. They still could get it, and they could still get both, honestly, but it looks like they're just going to go ahead and settle with just the Fire Giant.
I mean, it's still a fire giant. I don't think Exquisite Nation is going to complain by any chance, but I think they would have really liked to see that Gold Fury Jet Little absolutely destroys Athena.
Yeah, with that Obsidian Shard now, it's just straight 2 damage almost. 33% from the Obsidian Shard, in an additional 15 flat pin on the Dynasty Plate helm. So you're talking a lot of penetration, most of which Athena doesn't actually have. She only has the Hardware Amulet, which only offers 45 magical protection, not a huge amount.
Well, 65 as well if you count the passive from Heartward
Well,
Amulet.
yeah.
But so it's still basically non-existent to Scylla, as she does have the Obsidian Shard and the Dynasty Plate Helm, but now she managed to get the Soul Reaver online. You thought she was chunking before, now she's going to be absolutely destroying people.
With Red Buff and Fire Giant, yeah, that's going to be exactly what she's going to do. And this is where she starts to get extremely scary. 5-2-5, scoreline looking a little bit better. She immediately jumped up after that last fight, so you can already see the impact of her just getting those last few key items. With her having the Soul Reaver, as you mentioned, though, it's going to completely change the ball game. Now she's not relying on I'm a Monster. She's just relying on being able to land anything to secure a huge amount of burst damage.
Meanwhile, this tier 2 tower on the left-hand side is going to be taken for free. No one's going to even look to contest it. Tornby's just backing off. He's trying to run under Phoenixes. Now they're going to be gesturing towards this mid lane Phoenix.
They're going to try and make a strong push on this, as it is the weakest of the Phoenixes. And there's all the AoE coming out. Sunbreaker used. Hou-Yi really trying to lay down the pressure so that his team can survive just that little bit longer. I think at this point, Exquisite Nation needs to send somebody over to the left side of the map to try and get some kind of split push.
sorry about that, folks. Discord is having some errors right now. We're trying to get that fixed. Because now the games are still going through. Metavoid diving deep. He gets taunted out as now looks like this Exquisite Nation team is going to push this tier 2 tower. We're going to try and get things fixed here in just a moment, but meanwhile, the games are still going to go. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after a short. Alrighty there, boys and girls. We're back in the game. Now as, sorry, Discord had some issues as the Phoenix was taken here by Exquisite Nation. They're just going to be pushing in deep. Matt Mitchell taken up into the air now. His black arm getting really low. He's going to have to back it out as, now Josh Goggles just trying to kill anyone. Viper getting low, and he's going to have to use that to get away. Second, folks, we're still having technical difficulties right now as Liquid Joe is diving deep. I'm just gonna finish out this cast, but it looks like everything is still going on right now. The 2 Phoenixes taken for the team of Exquisite Nation, as now Team Delta Split is just trying to survive. Pointless already taken out mid. Avoy is still trying to push out the mid lane, as now they're going to be heading back towards the Fire Giant, just trying to clean up the jungle. It looks like nothing too exciting. Most of Exquisite Nation is just trying to clean up these items here. They're just trying to find whatever options are available. As now everything's back to base. Level 20 for pretty much everyone on the side of Exquisite Nation. As now it looks like we're still gonna have some technical difficulties. I'll be right back in just a moment. We're still trying to fix this. Sorry about this, boys and girls. We're having all kinds of technical problems today. This is the weekend of technical problems, of course. We'll be right back for the Challenge Cup in just a short minute.
And we're back into the game, and it's looking quite desperate for Delta Split as they are sitting now 2 Phoenixes down, and Exquisite Nation just took the Gold Fury. A lot of uphill battles that Delta Split have to start climbing, but if they can manage to last a little bit longer, maybe get a Phoenix or 2 up, we could be talking about a comeback.
We could be talking a comeback indeed, but Exquisite Nation is going to be wrapped around this Fire Giant. Looks like Team Delta Split isn't even going to have a ward to contest it. They're still just trying to defend their Phoenixes. This is very much looking towards the end of Team Delta Split here.
Yeah, with the Fire Giant being just now completed by Exquisite Nation, Delta Split has very few win conditions available to them. They've already lost the biggest objective on the map that you can get, barring the Titan. The only thing left for them to do is just try and use the Phoenix as a 5th man. Try not to get caught out here, as luckily Athena didn't get hit by the Ninja ultimate, but try to use this Phoenix as a 5th man and make a big fight happen. It's not looking too good for them so far, as they are extremely split out, and Amaterasu is leading the charge. Hou-Yi defending as best as he can, dropping the ultimate on a couple of members of Exquisite Nation, as Athena had to go back to lick her wounds, comes back in with the ultimate, but Crush is going to keep all the members of Delta Split dangerously low. Anhur goes ahead and uses the ultimate as Jay Little goes into I'm a Monster and clears up about 2 people. Sobek is going to lead the charge as they have now cleared all Phoenixes.
Yep, they do have 1 Phoenix that will be respawning, but for the 3 members left of Team Delta Split, I don't think they're going to be able to contest it. So now it looks like the Exquisite Nation is just going to be pushing in. This Titan getting really low very quick, and it's going to go down here. GG's to both teams, but Team Delta Split just not able to find their way back into this game.
It looks like Exquisite Nation is going to take this one quite decisively. I mean, they did exactly what they wanted to do. They had easy rotations. Their ward coverage was immaculate. I think Delta Split had a couple of opportunities where they could have made something happen. Unfortunately for them, they weren't able to get their Thor off the ground. They also weren't able to give Hou-Yi as much room as I think he wanted. Viper did end with a KD of 0-5, but bear in mind that the first 2 kills happened within 10 minutes, and then after that, you didn't see the rest of those kills into the very, very late game. So I think that Fever did okay. I just think that if they could have allowed for Houyi to maybe blow up a bit more, because he was pretty decisively winning a lot of 1v1s with Anhur, maybe not getting kills, but at least forcing his opponent out of lane and keeping up in gold despite the members of Exquisite Nation getting gold furies and other objectives. So I think if they could have gave him just a bit more leeway, a couple more ganks, things like that, they might have been able to get something more done. But at the end of the day, Exquisite Nation walks away with this game, and we get to move forward to the next couple.
Yep. GG's to both teams. We'll be back in just a minute with round 3 of the Smite Challenger Cup, sponsored by hi-rez Studios and Tier Monster. We'll be right back after a short break. Hopefully no more technical difficulties going on today. And we will see you in just a minute. Enjoy the music.